Hello everybody, today is May 28th, 2024, and this is going to be the second official inspection in the beehive. Bear with me. Alright, we are looking at the beehive. It's a little congested in here. I got some knotweed growing that I just haven't bothered to take care of yet, so I'm going to try to open it up so we get a little bit of sunlight. Throw my gloves on. I don't know if you can see in the video, but we got a lot of bees floating around, so I'm going to use my smoker, try to calm them down a little bit. Most of you all know that I don't generally like using the smoker, but in this case, it's kind of necessary. So, smoke a little bit in the front. Take the top rock off. Pop the top. Smoke a little bit in the top, just to keep them down. And we're going to see what we can see. Spider. Don't need that in there. Alright. I gotta make sure you guys can see what I can see. Alright. So, let's get this out of the way. Dang it. Oops, sorry about that. Alright, now we have better visibility there. Let's see if we lower this down a little bit here. Perfect, now we're looking in the top of the box. This is the top cover, which I'm going to take off. Alright, we got some bee activity. Shake them off here. Okay, top cover is empty of bees. Perfect. Now I did put a frame feeder in here, so I need to check on that to see how that's working. If it's empty, I'm not actually going to be refilling it. I'm just going to be removing it and adding a couple of frames. Alrighty. Let's see. And she's pretty much empty. Actually, it is completely empty. There is zero liquid left in this frame feeder, so it is going to be removed completely. I'm kind of excited about that. That means that they ate everything that I put in there, which is a good thing. I'm only going to do a quick inspection in the top box. I don't really think that they've built too much up here, but I do need to check it. So we're going to start with the first frame. See what's going on here. All right, we got a little bit of activity. Nothing really going on. Set that off to the side. Check the next one. We've got activity. I don't know if you can see it in the video. We'll see if I can point it out with my Hive tool. That's a drone, that's a drone, that's a drone. There's a lot of drones in the colony now, so that's a good thing. I like to see the drones. I need to move my smoker. It's smoking me out. All right, next frame. Out real quick. Oh, look at that. We've actually got some comb. And they're filling it with nectar. That's a good thing. So I'm not going to be feeding the bees any more sugar water for the season. They're going to have to collect it on their own. Seeing more drones. A little bit of comb, nothing crazy. They're just starting to build on it, which is fine. All right, next frame. We've also got a little bit of comb building out. A couple more drones. Some more frame. More comb. And at the moment, they're just filling it with nectar. That's fine. Keep these together as much as possible so I can put it back together easier later. All right, third frame. This one just barely has any comb on it. Like they just barely started. It's got a little bit more comb on the other side, so that's good. Seeing less drones though, but that's all right. All right, and the last couple of frames, I have a feeling probably don't have much of anything on them. With taking the frame feeder out, yeah, they got a couple of cells on the bottom, but they're not really building much. A little bit on that side, still nothing crazy. What I was going to say, with taking the frame feeder out, I'm actually going to be installing 2 frames because I don't want them to run out of space. I want them to be able to build. This was a new box that I added to the Hive during my last inspection. So I wasn't really expecting to see a lot of growth yet. It's not surprising. It's only been a couple of weeks, and they hadn't really had the bottom frame fully full. Plus, they're still recuperating the actual colony numbers from the winter, so it makes sense. But I need to check the bees to make sure that they're doing okay. All right, old frames are all back in, and I'm gonna put in some new frame that have some actual leftover comb on them, but I'm gonna put them towards the middle. Hopefully that'll encourage them to build on them. So I'll do one on this side and one on the other side of the center. It just has previous scent on it, so that'll encourage them to build on it more. The other frames do not have any actual wax, so it's harder for them to build. Make sure my spacing is good. All right, now I'm going to take the top box off, and I'm going to set it aside so that I can inspect the bottom box. Oops. Dang it. I'm not really looking for much of anything other than just looking at progress. Checking to see how the queen is doing, checking to see how the colony is doing, how these frames down here are being filled out. If you can see in the video, yeah, I'm gonna have to lower it down a little bit. There's quite a bit of bees on the top of this. That's a good thing. I like to see that. Oops. That should be better placement. Sorry about the malfunction. Oh, it's better. At least you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to smoke these a little bit more. Now, I'm not taking any honey out of this bottom box or the one that's right on top of it. That is for the bees so they can make it through the next winter. But what I'm seeing is that this is squished pretty much close to the edge. So it's going to be tough to get it out. Like my spacing might have been off a little bit when I put it together last time. Yeah, that's making this very difficult. All right, so this frame only has bees on it. They have not built any comb. I see a bunch of drones. I do not expect to find the queen bee on this particular frame. There's no reason for her to be there. She wouldn't hang out on an empty frame. That's just not the way a queen would operate. All right, next frame. Now that I've given myself a tiny bit of space here. Alrighty, here we go. Look at that. So, if you can see, it looks like they're starting a queen cell. I don't know if I necessarily like the fact that they're starting a queen cell. There's a bunch of larvae, a bunch of brood. Oh, that one looks like a drone, but that one definitely looks like it could be a queen. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on it, see what's going on. Ah! Shit! That's not supposed to happen. Sorry for my language. That is not supposed to happen. I'm not supposed to drop this. Now, as you can see, they've all been agitated because I probably just killed a couple of bees, and I'm glad that the queen was not on this frame. So, I need to get these girls to calm down. Because that was not good. Alright, well, that should work for a little while anyways. Dagnabbit. Yeah, I got a couple of drone cells. Or at least what appears to be drone cells. I just spilled a bunch of honey. I killed a bunch of bees when I dropped it. Darn it. That really bothers them. It bugs me too. Alright, there's a couple that are still living. I only killed one or two. There's a bunch of brood in here though. You can see all that capped over stuff. That's the brood. I might have damaged a couple of the cells. There's a bunch of larvae. I don't see any fresh eggs. But the larva is definitely a good sign. It shows that the queen is definitely laying. Look out. Alright, let's check our next frame. See what's going on here. Oh yeah. There is all sorts of brood on this frame. It looks like they've eaten most of the honey stores that they had stored up. And I see a bunch of fresh eggs, so that is a good sign. I like seeing eggs. More brood. We got a baby bee that's getting ready to come out right there. I don't know if I can actually see it on the camera or not. I'll take a look when I get ready to check out the video. Definitely a bunch of brood, a bunch of drone cells. So the drones are unfertilized male eggs. The queen determines how many drones need to be in the colony, and there will only be 10% of the colony will be drones. The rest of it will be worker females. All right, come here. Don't want you hanging out on my boot. That's better. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. All right, we've got some more drone cells, a bunch of brood. Yeah, there's a bunch of drone cells in here. Ugh, I got sweat in my eyeballs. That is a lot of brood. I'm excited to see that. That's a lot of new bees that are getting ready to come out within the next couple of days. Fill up this colony, start building up in the top box. That's a good sign. It's a very good sign. All right, now we're getting towards the center. Got a lot more brood, a lot more larva. Doing pretty good. That's hard to tell if that's a queen cell or if that's a drone cell. Definitely gonna have to pay attention to that. Oh. Looking good, looking good. Hey, look at that. There's a pollinator. Cool. I like seeing pollinators coming back to the colony. Excuse me. All right. Couple more drone cells. A lot of drone cells in this one, actually. I don't see any eggs on this frame, but that's okay. I do see a bunch of capped over brood, and there's some emerging brood. And there is a ton of larvae. There's a lot of larvae throughout all of these frames, so I'm very excited to see that. And I'm trying to keep these frames squished tight together as much as possible. Some of the propolis on the side of the frames is making it difficult. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Looks like some more drone cells. I'm not looking super hard for the queen. But we have a lot of capped over brood. That means there's going to be a lot of bees emerging soon. It's going to fill up this colony, and they should definitely start building in the upper box really quickly. Excuse me. I have yet to find the queen. I hope I find her. I know the last time I was in here, she was doing really well. So I hope that she's still doing well. Find out in a little while. I've only got 3 frames left to check. Hoping that I didn't miss her like I did last time and then find her in the video afterwards. Definitely seeing a lot of drones. If you remember, my queen does have a red mark on her, so that should make her easier to spot. Theoretically. So this frame has a bunch of brood, a bunch of nectar, mixture of both. Good sign. It's good that they're still collecting nectar. It's what they feed off of. They need the food. Flowers are starting to bloom, so that's a good sign, which is another reason why I'm taking the frame feeder out. Now, I don't know if you can see in the video, but I keep moving the frames back and forth as I'm putting them back together. The reason I'm doing this is so I can give the bees a chance to get out of the way of the frames so they don't get squished. Because I don't want to squish anybody. Alright, second to last frame. See what we got going on here. A lot more brood. I'm not really seeing any eggs. I did see some eggs on that. Oh, there she is. There she is. Can you see her? Right there. There she is. That's the queen. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. She is doing phenomenal. I'm glad to see her. I mean, she's doing good. The colony's doing good. This frame has a lot of brood. Some nectar. Not really sure why the queen's hanging out on this particular one, because there's not much of her to do anything on it. But I'm going to let her be. Just let her hang out. And just doing a quick inspection on this one side. That last frame doesn't have anything going on it. So I'm not even going to bother taking it out, looking at it, because there's no point. I can see that they're not doing anything with it yet. Perfect. This, I would say, was a very good inspection. Oh. Yeah, she's dead. I know she's dead. I'm trying to get her out. All right. Now we got to put it back together. Hopefully without killing anybody. All right, make sure that's tight. Well, I'd say that was a good inspection. We got to see the queen specifically. Got to see that there's a lot of brood. Some eggs, not a whole overly lot, but enough to make me happy. Seeing the queen was crucial. Just knowing that she's alive and okay is phenomenal. I like to see that. Alrighty. And excuse me. There we go. And that completes our inspection. Got to get them to calm down a little bit so I can put everything all back together here. Oh no, I think my smoker went out. Well, that's not good. Yep, it definitely went out. I don't have any more stuff in it to fire it up. Oh well. Alrighty, well, hopefully we don't crush anybody. Oops. Yep, they're gonna get a little agitated because I probably just squished a couple. I hate squishing them when I'm putting everything back together. Unfortunately, it happens. There's nothing I can do about it. They tend to get in the way sometimes. Replace the inner cover. Replace the top cover. Put my weighted rock on top. And that completes our inspection of the hive. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.